Hey kids, welcome back. This should take us 3 minutes. So like we said in part 1, which you did watch because you wouldn't watch this before watching that, some black communities in the 1940s and 50s could see into the future and predict that desegregation may not be the best route for black education overall. Which, my friends, brings us to Topeka, Kansas in the 1940s and 50s. In Topeka, black teachers and parents were not willing to destroy the black educational sanctuary they'd been working on for decades. When the NAACP proposed helping the Topeka community fight for racial integration of schools, the Topeka community said, no thank you. No, black people in Topeka were not in favor of Jim Crow segregation laws. They were what Dr. Sharice L. Cheney calls black school preservationists. Let's go to the blackboard. Kids, to understand the cartoon-like villainy of the Jim Crow era in the United States, we have to understand the term separate but equal. The United States Constitution enforced racial discrimination in the United States as long as racially segregated places and services like schools and libraries offered equal experiences, aka the black school should offer what the white school offers. This idea was called separate but equal and came from a Supreme Court case called Plessy v. Ferguson. This was the law across the country from 1896 to 1954. That's like from your great-great-great-grandparent being born to your grandparents being born, depending on how old you are anyways. The court really wanted the separate part, but the equal part was not really enforced like at all. For many black schools after the 1896 ruling, the law prevented them from being equal to all white schools. Black schools received less state funding, their textbooks were out of date, their school buildings were falling apart and dilapidated, and black people had to pay taxes for other public schools that the law stopped them from going to. But in some states like Kansas, named after the native Kaw nation by the way, separate was actually kinda equal, meaning black schools received similar funding and resources as white schools in Topeka, Kansas. They had up-to-date buildings, white and black students had similar lessons, black and white teachers had close to similar pay, and black schools had a good amount of autonomy to teach in pro-black ways and cater to the needs of the black community. Here's Linda Brown's mom talking about the black schools in Kansas that Linda Brown attended. Yes, Linda Brown is the Brown in Brown v. Board of Education.
Right. Oh, it was wonderful. I tell you, it was wonderful. We didn't have any bone to pick with our schools as far as education was concerned, nor the teachers, because they were qualified and they did what they were supposed to do.
So now it's easy to see why the black community wouldn't want to disrupt their educational control with the idea of desegregation splitting up their whole community. They wanted to preserve their schools. They were black school preservationists. What black communities wanted instead was better school resources, educational autonomy, and institutions that they could rely on for a long time. In the push for desegregation, we saw two strategies come into conflict. One said, let's integrate the schools and get better resources. The other said, let's demand better resources for our schools, but let's not take for granted the all-black institutions we've already built. One of the key components of community control of school is educational autonomy. Unfortunately, desegregation decreased the amount of educational autonomy black communities had over their K-12 school. So what did some black communities do once they quickly realized that desegregation and civil rights laws were not working to educationally benefit all people? In the next episode, we'll travel back in time to Ocean Hill, Brownsville, Brooklyn in 1968 to find out. See you next time. All power to the people. Peace.